you guys watch the podcast, something's different. And that's because we're growing with you.
These spot the difference games are getting harder. And you know what?
But you know what? This means
a few things. This means
we mean business.
Yeah.
First of all, because these weren't cheap.
Secondly, it means that we are straight up crushing.
It means we're crushing. We really are. And I mean, in our minds.
In our minds.
And in our hearts.
In our minds, if we get like more than 100 likes on something, I'm like, we're crushing.
We're crushing. Like,
this is it.
We're on the fast track to fame.
We're charting.
We're charting. It's true. I will say, as much as these are like very fancy mics, I'm lucky that my fiance works in music, so I did get them at cost.
Oh, that's incredible.
But I'm still very excited about this.
I feel so legit. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I know. We don't have to do anything with them.
I feel like we're going to be a lot of this.
I'm very excited about this. I have a question.
Actually. I have an answer.
Does everybody? So Gabby is a big water drinker.
I am hydrated.
I'm getting there, but I'm not that good at it. And so everybody's like, oh, just get a big water bottle and then you kind of like absentmindedly drink it, right?
Yeah.
It's like a good idea, which I agree, and I do think it's helping me. But like when a water bottle is this big, like, do you just accept that you look silly drinking? Like
Yeah, you either look silly or you're dehydrated. So you kind of have to.
I have to use both hands like a toddler.
Yeah, you do look like a toddler.
It's so big. Like I don't like drinking this in public. It's humiliating.
Wait, I have a water hack.
What is it? I need it.
Well, it's not going to help this, but it is going to help hydration.
Okay.
Did you know that water doesn't actually hydrate you the way it used to hydrate you? And you need to like remineralize your water.
Is that real or is that like a TikTok thing?
Listen, it very well could be.
Because that feels like something.
But I trust it.
That feels like something a white woman with dreads told you on TikTok.
And you know what she did? And I believed it. And I went, bookmark. So maybe I'm putting baking soda in my water for no reason.
Because I'm going to be honest, I like was really into the whole like Celtic sea salt one, and then I did a bunch of research outside of TikTok, and all the scientists were like, that's not real.
Okay, so if anything, this shows you that we should trust less. You know what? That is a good lesson, because I feel like I'll see something on TikTok and I'll just like take it at like face value. Yes. And I'm like, that's my truth now.
I do the same thing, and then like I'll have like one day where I wake up and I'm like just distrusting of the universe, and I'll start doing a bunch of research, and like so much of it will be like not necessarily like misinformation, but like highly exaggerated. Yeah. Like with the salt thing, it's like my research basically told me like, yes, technically that salt does have minerals, but it is such a small amount. Like just take a fucking multivitamin. Like you're doing too much.
Well, then just fuck what I just said. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I thought I was hydrated.
You are hydrated.
I thought I was a water expert.
You just don't need to be doing more.
Do you think we'll ever run out of water?
I don't know. I don't like to think about it.
Okay.
I saw a what's it called? Trailer for a new movie. Have you seen this called Civil War?
No.
It's basically like what would happen if America went through another civil war, which is very, very scary because like people talk about this all the time. Like my dad is a big conspiracy theorist, and he genuinely believes a civil war is coming because like we're pretty divided, you know what I mean, between red states and blue states. And in this movie, it's like basically like the West Coast like tries to secede. It's like Texas and California. And it turns into like this very scary sort of like dystopian world. And all the comments were like, nah, I'll just wait for the real thing in 20 years. And even Kellen, who like doesn't like subscribe to fearmongering the way that I personally do, he watched the trailer and he was like, that made me feel like scared.
I just feel like we should stop making those kinds of movies because like it's already our reality. Like we need like silly, funny movies.
You know what? That brings me to my first in.
Oh.
Actually, that was an incredible segue.
Okay, let's go.
Hopecore. Are you on Hopecore?
Yes.
TikTok?
Oh, I love Hopecore.
I love this. I never... Like, I feel like this is a new thing.
Wow, wait, I'm actually very surprised that your in would be Hopecore.
Not
that you're not hopeful or like that you love that shit, but it is a great in.
It is a great in. Like, I've been getting them like served to me, and it'll be in between like some terrible like photo post of like some Reddit of like the worst things you've ever seen happen to a human, and then after that will be like some like mom asking for you to like engage with her post because she has brain cancer.
Yeah.
And it's like in a world where that's the kind of stuff getting fed to you, like a little Hopecore is nice.
Wait, what? Do you cry when you watch it?
I wouldn't say I fully cry, but I definitely get like choked up for sure. Like I feel it in my throat, depending on the video too.
Wait, start sending me them.
I've been getting a lot of them, and it's really nice.
It's so sweet.
And I've started, like, interacting with them so that I get more. It's just, like, I don't want that all the time on my feed, right? Like, I think it's important that I'm still learning about, like, you know, bad things that are happening in the world.
I agree, but also, like, I will speak for you as well. We are such hypochondriacs that I'm sure your feed is much like mine, where it's like, I have a lump and it turned into a cancer that's aggressive. And you're like, fuck, dude, I was just trying to unwind.
Exactly. And again, it's like, I think it's important to be up to date on your health. And I think it's important to be up to date on, like, what's happening in Gaza. But also, in between getting that information, of course I want to see the loving relationship between, like, a dog and a kitten. Like,
I agree. I just saw this video. It was so cute. It was this little kid who was traveling on a plane for his birthday.
Yeah.
And he was alone. And the flight attendant, like, went to the front and was like, it's so-and-so's birthday. And everybody turned on their lights as if it was birthday candles. And they were like, 1, 2, 3, blow them out. And they blew them out.
That's the kind of thing that would probably make me choke up. For
sure.
I
cried.
Yeah. You know what I'm really scared of right now?
What?
I've been tempted to do the trend where you ask TikTok how old you look.
Are you brave enough?
I'm not, but I've been tempted.
I answer in my head, and usually what my answer is, like, when I see people post those videos, I'm like, yeah, we all think the same.
That's why I'm worried, because I feel like, and I think some people are less sensitive than I am. So I do think sometimes people are doing it, like, knowing they're gonna get a reaction, like they know they look older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not that person.
How old do you think you look?
I think it's tough because I think in person I look younger because I'm short, which I just think always, you know, I'm very petite, which I always think makes me look a little smaller.
But your skin's also not giving, like, 40 and up.
I agree. Online, to be honest, if I'm being, like, really realistic, I think I look close to my age. I think I look anywhere between, like, 28 to 32.
Yeah, you're giving me 29.
And that's fine. Even if I get 1 year younger than I am, I feel like I'm doing pretty well skincare-wise.
How old do I look? I still have acne, so.
You also have, like, a big smile, which to me I think makes you look younger in a good way. Yeah. You have a very youthful spirit.
I still have glimmer in my eyes.
Yes. The world hasn't, like, hardened you quite as much as it's hardened me, which is crazy for everything you've been through. I honestly think you look I think we look the same range. I think somebody could easily guess 27, 28 and it wouldn't be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think you look really any older than 30.
So sad.
And that's, like, at the most.
Okay. Oh my God, I saw this TikTok yesterday and it was like, do we think that, like, aging is gonna be a trend in, like, 10 years? And
like, it's gonna be cool to be aging?
Yes, like, they were like, oh, are we gonna think crow's feet are cool and stuff? Because, so you know how now, like, if somebody doesn't have an Instagram, it's kind of cool. Yes. It's kind of like niche. It's cooler than if you have, like, 1 million followers. Yes. So, you know, everything always has to balance out. Yeah. So, like, in 10 years, is having, like, laugh lines and crow's feet gonna be in?
Girls are contouring to give themselves laugh lines.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
That would be sick, actually.
I'm kind of for it.
As somebody who's in their 30s, I would absolutely love that.
Okay, so wait, what is your out?
I don't remember.
Oh.
But I did write it down. My out is slam poetry. I just don't, like, I think we've heard enough.
I think we should leave slam poetry in 2016.
I agree. Listen, let me tell you something. When I was 20.
No good story starts like that.
And I was cringe. I thought slam poetry was the fucking coolest thing in the world. Like, I would watch, like, the same slam poetry videos on YouTube over and over, and I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I think that tells you a lot about it.
Wait, I have something to admit. What? When we lived together, I would...
Ew, what are you gonna say? Ew.
I can't believe I'm admitting this.
What are you about to say?
I would practice slam poetry in the mirror, but I would go as far as to, like, film myself and, like, give myself notes.
Gabriella.
Yeah.
Anna.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. And it was always, like, something that was, like, not that deep.
Oh my gosh. I know exactly the kind of slam poetry you were doing too. Your immigrant ass was like life lived in 2 languages.
Yes. It's like a Spanglish poem. These are my struggles. Ya tú sabes.
Holy shit.
And I was so serious.
And you know what? If you came to me and you walked into my room in 2016 and showed me, I would have ate that shit up.
Listen, I was cringe but free. I don't give a shit.
I would have said, pull the tripod out. We're putting this on YouTube.
We're putting it in a vlog.
Oh my god.
Imagine.
We used to go to slam poetry. Remember when we
went to at the Poetry Lounge.
Poetry Lounge is sick.
It is sick.
Maybe. Actually, I don't know. I haven't been in a long time. But to young me, it was sick.
Yeah. I don't know about now, but like 2016 me waited in that line.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I felt so cool when I'd go to the Poetry Lounge.
Listen, the problem, I'll even go as far as to say it, the problem isn't even like actual slam poetry. It's like, and well, it is, but it's like nothing is that like harsh in this world.
And if it is, it like shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be in a poem.
It shouldn't be in a poem. Not in slam poetry.
Not in slam poetry.
I'm a hater, and I get it. It's like an outlet for some people. Like whatever.
My God, take up running. Like. Don't scream at words at me.
Don't involve me.
Yeah.
You know? I just that's my out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you're a slam poet, I'm sorry.
If you're a slam poet, send us a video of your slam poetry.
Yeah, maybe you'll change your mind.
You probably won't, but I respect you. All right.
Okay, what's your in?
My in is phones. My in is iPhones. I think that iPhones get a bad rep. I think that we're always like, get off the screen time. And while I agree with that, I think that if you use your phone in a correct way, it's actually a very valuable thing.
I agree.
I am constantly learning on my phone. I play brain-enriching games that help my memory. Looking up articles.
That's true. Talk to your friends.
Talk to my friends. I have limits on my screen time. I don't know. I just feel like we're so extreme, and I've said this before on the podcast, that it's like, it's either like live on a farm with no Wi-Fi or like you're chronically online. And I just think there's a happy place in there that we have to realize that like phones, we kind of need them and that's it.
I agree. I think this year was a year for me of like trying to like letting go of shame over shit that like I don't even actually feel shameful for, but I've been like brainwashed to think that I should feel shameful for. And one of those is absolutely screen time. Like I feel like when I get my little notification like, oh, your screen time is up, it's at 9 hours a day, it's like I get this like deep shame. But it's like I work on my job is on my phone. So unfortunate, my job is on my phone. And that doesn't mean, again, like you can't like take breaks, but like my job is on my phone. I have a lot of friends who don't live near me. I like scrolling on TikTok. I like to read articles. I
FaceTime my family.
I do the mini crossword every day.
I don't know. I feel like we're just so harsh, and it's like maybe just shift your mindset and follow more creative people, or like follow like-minded people and like take in stuff. Like I don't necessarily back doom scrolling either. Yeah. But I think that if you're learning stuff, like come on, that's better. That's better than watching TV sometimes.
I agree. I've been really into Substacks this year.
Yes, you got me on Substacks, actually.
I loved Substacks. I am going to rant about Substacks for a second because I think it's really important that in this day and age where like shit is getting like ripped from small creators and where like nobody really like reads anymore, there's like a lot of misinformation, and it's just like hard to kind of like, I don't know, I missed the days of like blogging, of just like hearing someone's opinion and knowing that it's their opinion and not necessarily having to take it at face value, not always agreeing with it, but like if I like somebody and I mostly like their thoughts and I think that they're smart and I think that I can learn something from them, like going on their blog and seeing what they have to say that day. I loved that era.
I agree.
And obviously there's like Twitter and shit like that, but Substacks are such a good way to be like supporting your favorite writers, your favorite activists.
Wait, you should have a Substack where like you just pick out like your favorite articles that month.
That's a good, honestly. So one of my favorite Substacks, which I will link below, they talk, right? They have like their own little like sections, but then they do that. They'll be like, this is something I read this week that really stuck with me that I liked a lot.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. And I just like feel good. Like when I get my little like, oh, you spent $8 on the Substack. Like I feel like I'm like supporting a small creator.
Blogs are coming back.
Blogs are back. Substack is back. And I always like, I like look forward to them. Like my Substacks, a lot of them like come in on Sundays. I get so excited. I get the little email,
How funny that we like are so extreme in our nature, because like we went from just reading headlines and like, very clickbaity stuff and we get immediately into it to like, now we're kind of over that. We're exhausted by just quick learning and we want to really absorb the knowledge that we're trying to learn.
Yeah. Well, this is what I feel like I have a lot of friends who are like very, they're always like worried about like, as they should be, like the state of the world or like brain rot and this and that. And like, while that's like valid, I do think that like everything is in waves. Like we always kind of like, I think like society does have like a really uncanny ability to like self-regulate. And like we go through phases where we're like hardcore brain rot, like no like sense of like actually being able to do our own research, like no media literacy. And then you kind of like, you realize, oh, I'm waking up depressed every morning, or I'm not actually getting information, or like I'm subscribing to fearmongering. And you like, we want to be better as people. Like we're always striving. That's why everybody has mood boards and New Year's resolutions. Like you always end up kind of like self-regulating. Yeah. It's like we will get back to being good. I have faith in humanity.
There's always, with every good, there is bad, but with every bad, there's good, Exactly. Like I just feel like it just depends on how you want to view things.
I'm tired of being like scared and sad and angry all the time. And I'm just like trying to like see the good in things, and again, that doesn't negate that like there is terrible,
of course,
stuff, and like we're doing the best we can, and I think it's also important to be like consuming knowledge and consuming information that's like negative to make sure that you're like up to date and you're like giving voices like.
But you shouldn't hold the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah, it's a very hard mix.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm learning a lot this year. I feel like I really like absorbed so much knowledge when something big is happening in the world, and I'd post like so many stories, and I would obviously like talk to people about these things, and I feel like I was just like I was in a constant state of just being anxious all day. Yeah. And I didn't even have time for myself. Like I was just holding whatever the world was giving me, and then my content was all having to do with that because I'm absorbing it and constantly viewing it. Yeah, we have to protect our brains because like the phones aren't doing it for us. My outs. Nepo babies not owning that they're Nepo babies. I just feel like we're past like the need to call out Nepo babies. We're very aware that like
they
exist, and I think that that's okay. I think that like it would be the same thing. I've said this to you before. If my dad was a famous dentist in our tri-state area and I got into it, like I would have a leg up. Yeah. I think that like, yes, I understand, especially as a fucking Hispanic immigrant woman, that people get a leg up in things. That's just life. Yeah. It's about how you like, I guess, show up after getting that advantage in life, and like just let that be what speaks based on your craft. You know what I mean? Like I just think that like we place so much importance on like, no, I'm not a Nepo baby. Like I didn't get anything handed to me. And it's like, just say you did, and say that you did and you worked really hard on this craft and you use your resources to better that craft, and fucking own it.
I agree. I could take a wild guess that this is sort of like stemming from the Dakota Johnson thing. Yeah. And it really bothered me too, because I actually really, really like Dakota Johnson, and I think she's a great actress.
I like her too.
I like her personality. I've loved her like candidness in interviews and stuff like that. And then it just really icked me out that she was like, talking about me being a Nepo baby is boring. Like, it's just boring. It's like,
no, that's just like a part of you, and like,
you have to own it. Yeah. You have to own it. Like, you have decided to be an A-list actor. People are going to have opinions about you. And like, to be honest, a lot of people don't like her, but at least make a joke about it like Hailey Bieber did. Like, at least wearing the shirt to me was like, okay, she's a little bit making fun of herself. Like, I can get on board with that. I can get on board with that. You know what I mean? Like, she's at least in some way,
she's in on the joke.
She's in on letting herself a little bit be in on the joke versus like refusing to talk about it, or like getting upset when people bring it up. Like, at the end of the day, it is a part of who you are. Like,
I also do think that like, okay, you clearly aren't in control of like how people perceive you, but you are kind of in control of like what the narrative surrounding your name is, and it just depends on how you approach that. If somebody knows that you're a Nepo baby, just be like, yeah, whatever, like, yeah, my dad's cool as fuck, like, and I'm cool as fuck now, so deal with it.
Exactly. And you know what,
I'd respect that.
With her track record of being so candid, people would have loved that. But for her to just like brush it off and be like, stop talking. It's like,
yeah, there's nothing to be shameful for, because you use that to get to where you are. So like, why are you ashamed of it now?
Yeah, I didn't like that. It really icked me out.
I have a question for you.
What is it?
Does your laugh ever change?
No.
Oh.
Why? Does yours?
Yeah. Like throughout time, you've always had the same laugh?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I guess I've never thought about it.
I feel like recently I'm going through a laugh change.
What?
Yes, I'm going through a laugh change. It's
like you're rebranding your laugh?
Yeah, but not on purpose. Like it just happened one day. Like I think it's something hit in my head and I was like, oh, I don't like this laugh. And like I've been trying out new laughs. You know how like comedians try out new bits? Like I've been trying out some new laughs.
Interesting.
And it wasn't on purpose, but it's happening. And it's my truth.
How do you feel about it?
I don't know. You'll notice throughout time. This happens to me every like 7 years. I'm not kidding.
What?
One time we had a friend and I really liked her laugh and I could feel myself like emulating that laugh.
Really?
Yeah.
I have done that with like the cadence of words. Like if I really like a character in a movie or an actress or somebody, like I like the way that they say, for me it's less like an accent or a laugh, but it'll be like a specific word. They'll say a word a specific way. And yeah, it's like half subconscious, half conscious. It's like consciously I like the way that they say that. But then I almost just like start, like I can think of certain words that I say that I feel like I started saying those words that way because I liked the way somebody said it. And now,
like what?
Now they're part of like the way that I say it. But like, I don't remember who it was, but I remember when I was really young, like in high school, I heard an actress or something somewhere and they said yeah a little bit like not masculine, a little bit masculine, like it was like a yeah. And I say yeah like that. But I've said it like that for like decades. Yeah,
you've never changed.
But that wasn't natural. Like I started saying that when I was like 16.
But also, I could argue that like what is natural? Isn't our personalities just shared things that we have loved about other people?
That's true. That's true.
We kind of like make it into our own.
That's true. But yeah, that was one. Like when I'm like talking to someone and they say something and I'm like acknowledging, I'll be like yeah, and people will be like, the way you say yeah is cute. I'm like that was like almost a conscious choice when I was young. Yeah.
Now you'll notice my laugh.
I know. Now I'm going to notice your laugh. I was going to therapize you for a second and say that like, you know, you're on this kick right now of really sort of like unlearning like people pleasing.
Yeah.
And so part of me is like, I wonder if you're just like making your laugh less fake. Like maybe you're just being more conscious of your laugh. Like maybe you're like,
yeah, maybe this is me.
Yeah. Maybe you're just like, oh, that joke doesn't need to be laughed at so hard.
Yes.
I'm going to laugh at that joke at the laugh that I think it's worth and not at the laugh that I think like they would hope that I would.
You know what? I do that at comedy shows. I'll like over laugh at
to make
things.
Like the comedian feel better.
Yeah, and I'm like, but that's not really helping because they think that joke fucking hit. So, and I'm like, I just feel bad.
Yeah. What if you take this like anti-people pleasing kick and go like full villain and you start like booing at comedy shows?
I could see that.
I can see it too.
I could see that. I am very extreme.
I would like that. I would think it was really funny actually.
Wait,
you kind of did that the other day. There was like, so the other night we were out at a bar for a friend's birthday. We were at a karaoke bar. And no offense if this is you, but these like theater kids like kind of co-opted the mic and they just like kept singing like, you know, like the whole fun of karaoke. I'm sorry. I have a rant actually.
I'm ready for this.
The whole fun, karaoke is a social experience. Unless you are renting a room for you and your friends, if you are at a bar and there are hundreds of people watching you, karaoke is a shared social experience.
It's meant to be fun.
It's meant to be fun for everyone.
And lighthearted.
It's meant to be fun for everyone, not just for you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I agree. You're supposed to be like interacting with the crowd.
Yes. So when somebody chooses like a very, very niche song that they know that like 70% of the crowd isn't gonna know, I'm like, that's selfish.
That's for you.
And it's lame and it's for you. It's masturbatory. Like I'm pretty much just like watching you stand on stage masturbating right now and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And so,
I didn't buy a ticket to this.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like these theater kids were at the bar and, you know, they were nice, but like they just kept, you could tell like 5 or 6 of them like in a row, like put their name in. And then they all chose like songs from like fucking Wicked and shit. And it's like.
And you know how I feel about musicals.
And we know how you feel about musicals, but it's like, I don't really have beef with musicals, but I also haven't seen them. So it's like, okay, now you're singing a song and nobody in the bar is singing.
And everybody's drunk and you just want to hear fucking like pour some sugar on me or some shit. Like,
exactly.
You want to be like, I had a dream.
Exactly.
Like, it's just not.
Like, swallow your pride and either like sing some like early 2000s Nelly or like some Journey, some like, I don't know, just come on.
Yeah, I think that I'm like, now that I'm less people pleasy, I've always shown my expressions very clearly on my face.
Yeah.
And when I really don't like something, I'm like a very disgusted person.
Yeah.
And at the bar, I was giving that energy.
Well, that's what made me think about it, because I'm pretty sure you booed her.
Yeah.
And I loved that. It's the same way as when somebody does karaoke and they specifically choose a song that they know that they can sing really well. They're a good singer. It's like, I am not at a concert. I am not at the Greek right now.
And I also don't know the song.
I'm at a dive bar and I want you to sing silly.
Yeah.
I'm not at a concert.
What would you do if I sang Halo by Beyonce like really well at a karaoke bar? Would you clap for me?
Like, did I know you? Because if I know you, I'd still think it was kind of a bit.
I'm your best friend.
I'd still think it was a bit if it was you.
Okay.
To be honest. Like, if you got so dead serious and you sang Halo the best way you could, that would be actually so funny to me.
What if I started and I was like, me.
Yeah, you're like, mic check.
Mic testing.
You go to the sound guy, you're like,
where's this?
Come on. Like,
that's the only way you could.
Get out of here.
No, that's the only way you could get away with
you have to
singing
make
well.
you'd have to make it like a bit. And then it's funny. But it's like, I'm sorry, I think karaoke at a bar is a shared experience and you have to treat it as such. And if you are treating it like some weird thing where that like you're getting off to, get out of here.
Yeah, I'm anti.
You should be able to, karaoke bars should have like sound meters. And depending on how much the crowd is into it or not, you should get kicked off halfway through your song.
Oh, like if you're clapping enough? Yeah.
If nobody is like rooting for you, like if halfway through a song and like the bar has started like having their own like personal conversations, getting another drink.
I think they do that though. Sometimes songs don't go the full length, like the 3 minutes, and they just sing like the first verse and the chorus.
Let me tell you something, that fucking Wicked song went the whole length. Like, it's not that expensive to like go to like the bars in LA where you can like rent your own karaoke room, especially if you split it 5-6 ways with your other theater friends.
Dude, take a class at UCB. Like they'll clap for you. Like I'm not about it.
Yeah, I agree.
I have some questions for you. I wrote down some topics.
I love you.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but he's very big. Cillian Murphy? Killian Murphy?
Yeah.
Great name,
Fine
actually.
as hell.
Yeah.
I'd risk it all for that man. Sorry, Kellen.
So, this girl sat next to him. Did you see this story?
Yes.
And pretended that she didn't know who he was.
Yes.
I wanted to know what celebrity you would pretend to not know but like still want to interact with, and what celebrity would you absolutely go fucking cuckoo bananas for if you were this girl. Like if somebody sat next to you, if a celebrity sat next to you, what celebrity would you just pretend that you didn't really know just to get to talk to them?
You know what, even though he's technically my celebrity crush, I feel like I would do that for like Lakeith Stanfield.
That's a great one.
Because he seems so interesting. But
he seems calm.
He seems calm, but he also seems like the kind of person who doesn't necessarily like love fame. And I feel like he's the kind of person that if you go up and you're super stoked, he'd maybe shut down.
Yeah.
I'm projecting. I don't know him at all, but that's just like, that's the vibe I get.
That does check.
So, but I do feel like he's somebody I'd have a very interesting conversation with.
Okay. And then who would you like not even be able to go up to, if anybody?
Like Franz Kafka.
You're seated next to Franz Kafka at Chili's. You're like, I can't fucking go up to them. Dude, that is so real.
I'll try to think about somebody who didn't die 100 years ago.
Yeah. What about Steve Carell?
Yeah, and I do feel like he'd be very receptive.
Oh, yeah. We would talk about the Minions.
I love
and he you know what, he gives me
love
father, and like he would be down.
I agree. Steve Carell's a really good one that I feel like I could be like excited to meet, and they would like match that energy.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. What are yours? Like, who would you like lose your shit over?
Lose my shit over? I don't know. I have a weird thing with celebrities. I like pop culture, but I'm not really into the celebrity lore.
Yeah, I don't feel like you like.
I'm not like
freak out.
Yeah, I'm not a freak out, but I would probably say, honestly, maybe like a Britney Spears.
Yeah, that's true. Like somebody that I idolized as a child.
Yeah, somebody who like I could think of like baby me would be stoked to be meeting this person.
Yeah.
And then as far as like somebody who like I would like pretend to like not really know, I'm in a Harry Styles era. Ooh. And I'm late on it, but I'm here. And I just like his solo stuff, and I think he'd be fun to just like shoot the shit with.
I agree. And funny enough, one of our best friends recently shot the shit with him and said that he was so chill and cool, and like said that she smelled good or something. And that's chill.
That's what made me want to do that, because I'm like, oh, he just seems like a regular guy who like had his dreams come true.
Yeah, completely.
And I like that.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
I feel like celebrities who seem like regular people who just happen to like their dreams came true are the people that I want to like just have a chitty chat with.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think about Barry Keoghan? Is that, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Is that the guy from Saltburn?
Yeah.
I think, okay, he is incredible in Saltburn. I don't think he's very cute. I think he's like interesting looking, but I do kind of think he does the most.
In what way?
Like I saw this thing and it was this Variety or Vanity Fair thing, and like all the celebrities, it was like this camera panning and all the celebrities were like shooting the shit, talking to each other. And at the end, he's like butt naked. And it just doesn't make sense with the skit. And I get what he's going for, but it's like sometimes we can do less. Sometimes we can just exist and like,
even when you're white boy of the month.
Yes. Sometimes we can just do less.
Yeah.
I respect you for like going for it. I'm married to somebody who goes for it. But like sometimes it's like, all right, let's
reel it back a little.
Let's just put on a suit and like pay some respect to Vanity Fair.
Yeah. It's interesting for me because I feel like I usually am very attracted to a weird looking man. And I can be swayed pretty easily. Like if the masses think somebody's hot, my brain will definitely be like,
me too.
Yeah, he is. And I'm having a hard time with it. I think he's an incredible actor. He plays an incredible weird little guy, you know, in every movie he's done.
Dude, being known as the guy who plays a weird little guy incredibly is insane.
He is. Saltburn, Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yeah.
That one he did.
He's very baby girl coded.
The Irish one he did last year. Banshees of Inisherin. He's always a weird little guy.
He's dating Sabrina Carpenter.
I love that for him.
Yeah.
Because I think Sabrina Carpenter's like... Sabrina Carpenter is...
But there's always a hot girl, weird guy duo.
Sabrina Carpenter, to me, gives me more like...
Who could
early
you see her
2000s
with?
Britney Spears. Like that's like the vibe. I'm just going on like a Sabrina Carpenter tangent, but I love her. And to be honest, I gotta be honest, I've never heard one song of hers.
You would love her song Nonsense.
Okay. I've literally never heard a song of hers. I don't know anything about her other than like the very surface level kind of like
she's an incredible
stuff.
singer.
But something about her energy when like, you know, she pops up on my TikTok feed or whatever, I just like her.
Yeah.
She's so likable to me.
She's very like cool with it.
She's
like
cool.
Casual cool.
I think she's beautiful. She gives me early 2000s pop star. Like she gives me like, I'm surprised. I know she has a huge following, but I feel like she should be even bigger.
I think that opening up for Taylor Swift will open up mad doors for her. She's the first blonde in a while that I've been excited about.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And I'm such a blonde phobe.
Yeah. And no offense to blondes, it's just like...
Yeah, it's just a personal preference.
Yeah.
I am very excited about her.
Yeah, I think she's cool. You'd like her song Nonsense for sure.
Okay.
You know when we used to be obsessed with Ariana Grande, we were like obsessed with that song that she had with Lil Wayne? What's that song?
Yes. Well, that whole album.
It
had like a bunch of like rap features. Like,
it gives me that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that was her music.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good
she's
to know.
really good.
Okay.
Yeah, they're dating. They're cute. Sometimes I can't picture like celebrity couples in my head. I'm like, what do you guys talk about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, what's there to say?
Especially because she's so, I feel like, blonde pop star and he's like so Irish.
I feel the same way about Rosalia and Jeremy Allen White.
Yes. What the fuck do they talk about? What the absolute fuck do they talk about?
I feel like they like, I know obviously she speaks English, but like there are different language barriers.
Yeah.
In that, so it's like, what? How are they connecting?
You
how
speak
are their jokes
perfect
going?
English. You've lived here since you were 3, and you still will be like, "What's that word?"
Yes.
So yeah, it's like, how do you connect deeply when it's not like fully there?
Yeah, especially with her, she's even more Hispanic than or more Spanish than I am.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It feels. Wait, I have a question. What do you think about PR relationships? Do you feel like it's a PR relationship?
I never know. I don't know.
You
I don't know.
don't?
I just don't know. People will see a couple like, this is a PR relationship, and it's like, I don't know.
I feel like in your heart you do know. Like Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner, let's be for real, they would not even look at each other in a grocery store.
I disagree.
You think Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner make sense?
Personality-wise, no, but fucking
Looks-wise?
and hanging out, yes.
Yes. But do we think that Kendall Jenner's a little...
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one thing. Here's what I was going to say. I think it's bonkers when people can like say anything with their full chest about anyone they don't know. I think it's a very weird trait. It's a very parasocial thing that we've kind of like normalized. At the end of the day,
we don't know.
I don't know shit about shit. I don't know what's a PR relationship. I don't know what's real. I don't know who's a beard for who. I don't know, you know, if somebody was actually a mean girl to this one girl.
But you would never get an inkling?
I don't know anything about anything. No. Because I think about it in context of my friend group. And if my friend group became A-list celebrities overnight, people would think that, like, I'm going to keep this story in, but I'm going to bleep the names. We're a PR couple.
Yeah.
If every single one of us in our friend group were catapulted to A-list fame overnight, people would side-eye some of our relationships and some of our life choices. And they'd be like, this must be a PR thing. This must be a thing because their new podcast is coming out.
But I will say...
And I understand celebrities actually lead different lives and things are more calculated. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Would you ever do a PR relationship? I feel like I would. If I was single, I would do it.
If it was with somebody that I thought was hot... Why not?
Or even as, like, I don't know, a best friend vibe.
Yeah.
I'd live with a best friend for 3 months.
Like, I feel like the biggest PR relationship of this year is, like, it's Kylie and Timmy, right?
Yeah.
But to be honest, even if it is, like, a PR relationship.
And Travis and Taylor.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. But like, for example, like, when Timmy and Kylie talk, like, you know, when you see them on camera talking, there's something there. Even if they are just a PR relationship and they're just homies.
It might be friends to lovers.
They look like they're having fun.
Yeah.
They look like they genuinely are having a good time together. So I feel like I could get down with that.
Yeah, and I think it'd be like a silly little side quest. Yeah. I'd be like, how good can I keep this up?
I think the biggest thing for me with PR relationships is it's like, as much as you can keep your circle close when you're an A-list celebrity, at the end of the day, like, you and I, right? We've lived in LA for 10 years. Like, we know some serious... real shit about some serious real fucking famous people that other people don't know.
Yeah.
It's like when you were that level of famous, like, people talk. You can't keep your circle so close that people don't know things. And I just feel like more would be out.
But do you think well, here's where like the like contracts come in. Don't you think they're signing NDAs and stuff?
That's fair.
And how do you as a celebrity imagine like Rosalia coming to Jimmy Allen White being like, I know we're both famous, but like you have to sign this. Like, are they used to that?
That's the thing.
Do they read it over with the lawyers?
I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird.
I think NDAs are definitely like a prevalent thing. I think that they all have one download that they send to each other. Like they airdrop the same NDA.
Yeah.
Out.
If the devil came to you and was like, I want to make you famous. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said the devil. Cool, because it's like, you know, sell your soul thing.
Yeah,
but no. You actually don't have to do anything. The powers that be come to you and are just like, we've chosen you to be famous. A-list, like big boy fucking fame. Like just under
Household.
Taylor Swift famous.
Yeah.
Would you do it?
What do I have to do? Like what?
Nothing. Be famous. I don't know. Whatever you want. Singer, actor. You just have to be famous.
No, I'm saying like, what's the catch?
None. They just think you're good for the economy.
But do I sign my life away?
Nope.
I would want it to be gradual. I don't think I'd want it to be overnight. I'd be like, I will do it, but I'll be gradual.
I don't know if I would do it. I don't know if I want to be that famous.
Yeah, I guess I would pick my level of fame.
That's the thing. I don't know if I want to be A-list.
Oh, you said Taylor Swift. I wouldn't want to be Taylor Swift famous, but I would want to be like, who's like a great example? I would want to be...
You know who's a perfect example to me of like the level of fame that I really like? Julia Fox.
Yeah.
Julia Fox is a household name. Ish.
We all know her.
She is, but like you could easily find people who don't. Or you could find people who maybe would recognize a picture of her but be like, she's from that movie. You know what I mean? She's not like everybody knows her name. And she is famous at a level where she gets to enjoy the money that comes with it, the security that comes with it, like the fun events and stuff like that. Like she could like probably date any famous guy she really wanted. But like she is at a level where I feel like she can still go grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
She can go grocery shopping. That to me is the perfect level of like fame if you want it, is like you get to experience like the joys of fame. She can go to any red carpet event she probably wants to.
You're right, that's a good one, but she can still go out and like not be
harassed.
Yeah. I was gonna say Miley Cyrus, but you said the grocery store thing, and yeah.
To me, it's like I want to be able to grocery shop.
If somebody came up to me and said you could be that level, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
That's the most I want.
Yeah, I just think things get tricky and like we just aren't as humans like equipped for that kind of stuff. And like even Taylor Swift, I love her. I'm such a Swiftie, but like everything seems so robotic and very like calculated that like I'm sure her herself is like, fuck man, I just want to stroll around in a village. She just went to the Sydney in Australia, the zoo.
Oh yeah.
And like just the way people are looking at her, knowing that you're constantly perceived, that would be my worst.
Yeah, I don't know if I could deal with fear. I think there's like a level of fame that everybody would like because it comes with like money and like,
yes,
you know, an exciting lifestyle. But I would like to be at the level where I go to a grocery store and at the most I get recognized like 3 times.
Yeah, I just want to be like comfortable.
Yeah, I just want to be comfortable.
Yeah,
I want to be able to leave my house, like, you know, and it's like, I don't know. I that middle ground I think is perfect.
Yeah, but what would you do if like you were that level of famous and you started dating a very famous guy? Would you like continue it?
Repeat the question.
What would you do if you were at that level of famous, like Julia Fox vibes?
Yeah.
You've signed the deal.
Yes.
You're shaking hands. And then a really famous guy approached you and like wanted to date you. Would you
and
do
it would like catapult you to the next level.
Yeah.
That's so
tough.
tough.
But you like him.
Here's my problem is I'm so sensitive to what people think. And it's a really bad quality of mine. I really care. Like I have
people,
like
to what people that you personally know think, or to what people
strangers. Like I have like deleted like TikToks if like
listen,
you know what I mean?
I get that because you've been online for longer. Like I don't have that as deeply, but that's just because I haven't posted for as long as you have.
It's just like, and some people just don't care. Like I follow certain people on TikTok and all they do is like give like hot takes, unsolicited opinions, stitch videos, and I really like all their opinions, and maybe sometimes I disagree with them, but I'm also like a normal person, so if I disagree with them, I'm not like telling them to like off themselves. But
I do think those comments stick. Like if somebody was constantly calling me fat, like
it's like, how do you, like we like I feel like I know creators who are like not exaggerating at the level of fame and also make the type of like polarizing content that they get called fat, not exaggerating hundreds of times a day.
Do you think they're desensitized to it?
That's what it's like, yeah, I'm not the kind of person who would ever become desensitized to it. It would bother me too much. I don't think I could be in the type of relationship where like there is an opportunity for people to be like, oh, like she's punching way above her weight, or like what the fuck does he see in her, or like, you know what I mean? Like I remember this always stuck out to me. Like Jennifer Lawrence is objectively considered like a beautiful woman, right? She's an A-list actress. People love Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah. I love Jennifer Lawrence. I remember she like didn't, or I don't know if she didn't get the role, but like people were talking about, including her family, were talking about how like when she was being considered to play Sharon Tate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Ooh.
The general consensus was that she wasn't pretty enough.
Oh.
And
even her family was talking about it?
Sharon Tate's family was like, we don't think she should play her. She's not pretty enough.
Oh.
And it's like, I could not emotionally deal with that. I couldn't emotionally deal with that.
I would date a person that's bigger than me if we had a very private relationship.
Is that even possible?
I would try my hardest. I wouldn't like go to red carpets. I wouldn't walk red carpets with them.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't really need to.
You know who's a good example of that actually?
Ryan Gosling, Eva Mendes.
I was literally going to say that.
Really?
Yep.
I would want something like that.
Yeah, they have somehow figured it out. But also, they're an example of a couple that I don't think anybody has a problem. People love them, even though they don't really post. Like, I couldn't be in like a polarizing relationship.
Or a Tom Holland and Zendaya is a great example
again, though,
too.
people love them. They are objectively loved. I couldn't be in a relationship where people thought that like I was not pretty enough, or even that like maybe they thought that like that they were punching, or
you know who went through that?
People are always like, oh, like Jacob Elordi and what the fuck is her name?
Joey King.
No, the rowboat girl.
Olivia Jade.
Yes. People are always like, oh, they are always breaking up, and sometimes they're together and sometimes they're not, and like she doesn't like his like lifestyle, and like that he like does drugs and stuff like that.
How do we know this?
That's what I'm fucking talking about. Like, can you imagine like reading about yourself all the time? It's like I would always, I'm just too sensitive. I would always feel the need to set the record straight. I'd be coming online once a week to be like, let me set the record straight. Yeah. It's like it would consume my life. I care too much about.
You know who went through that? Jenny Slate and Chris Evans.
That's a perfect example.
And they were so good together.
And I feel like even the people who liked them were like, oh, they're so cute together. Like that proves that a guy could like a girl who's funny. And it's like,
you're right.
I couldn't deal with that.
Because before her, he was dating Jessica Biel.
Yeah, people were like, wow, like it really shows that like looks don't mean anything. If a hot guy started dating me and the general narrative was that people loved our relationship because it meant that like guys don't care about looks, take me out.
You're right.
Take me the fuck out.
Yeah, I would only date somebody like that if it was like I was not seen.
I don't want to be this person, but I care way too much about what people think. I care way too much.
Also, just people are brutal, and they like don't
even
give
when they're nice.
Yeah, even if it's like a backhanded compliment.
I had a girl once on TikTok who followed me, liked all my videos, was so nice, commented once and said that I had John Travolta vibes.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but it wrecked me.
When I think John Travolta, I think like chin, and you don't have like a dominant, you know?
I don't know what it is, but it wrecked me for like a month.
Were you singing?
No. I was just making like whole videos.
I would have replied, what do you mean?
I literally asked everybody in my life, like, do I give John Travolta? And I was like sending photos of John Travolta.
You're
like,
so annoying.
It wrecked me for like a month. And that isn't even that bad. Like, I don't even know what it means. But
okay,
like,
but I think people also like.
You know what's the worst part about this clip is we're going to fucking post it and we're going to get comments that are like, I see what she means. And I'm going to kill myself.
Nobody tell me what I look like.
Don't tell me I give John Travolta. Don't tell me who I look like unless it's somebody who's considered a Victoria's Secret.
No, don't even tell me that. It's so hard. It's so hard to deal with.
People, are you watching Love Is Blind?
I just started.
Okay,
the Megan Fox thing.
Yes, I feel. Listen, Chelsea has. Should she have gone to therapy instead of Love Is Blind? Yes. But I feel so bad for her. It's like if. I'm sorry, this is a hot take, maybe it's not, I don't know. She fucking looks like Megan Fox. Does she look like Megan Fox in the same way that like a doppelganger does? No, but they have the exact same nose, they have the exact same color eyes, she has big lips, she just has a different head shape and a different body shape.
No. It's the jaw. Let's be completely honest here.
Just take eyes, nose, mouth.
No. That only works if you don't have a prominent feature. She might look like Megan Fox like this.
Eyes, nose, mouth.
But
take a small circle of eyes, nose, mouth.
But Rhea, listen, if I looked like Candace Swanpool or whatever, but I had a massive forehead, it would outweigh the fact that I look like her from the forehead down.
It would, you're right. But would people probably still say that you looked like Candace Swanpool? Like, would a stranger probably say it to you? Yes. And if somebody said, hey, who do you get when a stranger comes and says you look like, you'd say Candace Swanpool. And maybe you'd say, oh, but we have different foreheads. But like, they have similar features.
But would you own that? I would never, like, people.
She didn't own it.
Oh, really?
She literally says, she goes, I get told, she didn't say I look like, she said, I get told I look like Megan Fox. And when he was like, oh my God, really? She literally goes, no, but it's only because I have dark hair and light eyes. She says this.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But she does have a prominent fucking jaw.
Listen, I'm not saying that they like. I would
which is
double
fine,
take and be like, oh my God, that's Megan Fox. But if I had never seen the show and she sat in front of me and she said, who do I look like? I'd probably be like, you have similar features to Megan Fox.
That's crazy. I respect that though.
I would.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nobody looks exactly alike.
But I will say,
like, you know how many celebrities I get told that I look like just because I'm an ethnically ambiguous girl with like dark hair and light eyes? I've gotten every single celebrity in the world.
No, but you do have a celebrity lookalike, and it's Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I don't see that one.
Oh.
I see it in some photos. I kind of see it pre-nose job more.
Yeah.
But I don't really see it.
Like in the last.
And now apparently I'm John Travolta too.
One of our last clips, somebody said like Vanessa Hudgens, and I never want to, like, that I look like her, and I never want to claim that because like, first off, I don't see it, but also like if you tell somebody you look like somebody and you like slightly resemble them, like even just let's say 5%, people are immediately going to think that you look like this person.
Well, that's the one thing I will say. Do I think that she's gotten Megan Fox in the past? Absolutely.
But don't claim it.
Should she have claimed it on national TV?
Don't claim it.
Probably not.
Don't. One time this person gave me, I was trying to get a fake, or allegedly I was trying to get a fake. And they were like, yeah, this person looks like you. Like, it'll work. And they showed me the ID, and I've never been more sad. That person did not look like me, and it was the worst. It was if you drew me by memory, and it was awful.
Telling someone you look like anyone honestly never works. You should never tell someone they look like anyone, because you're either going to give that person a big head and it's going to fuck them up later in this Chelsea situation, or you're going to insult them.
Yeah, I'd rather somebody just say like, I like your smile.
Yes, because if you tell them it's someone that is technically like prettier than them, then they're going to tell other people and people are going to side-eye them. Or if you tell somebody and they think they're uglier, you're going to ruin their day.
God.
Just don't tell people.
Just don't comment on what I look like.
Yes, that's
just
the moral of the story. That is the actual moral of the story.
Hell.
But I have to be honest, I feel for her. She's already so insecure.
I need to watch.
It's good. It's the best season of Love Is Blind in like 3 seasons.
Do you think you'd be good in Love Is Blind?
I have this God complex where I think that like if I went on a reality show, I would be like really universally loved, and people would have not a bad thing to say about me. I'd get like the Maria treatment.
I was about to say I feel like I'd get the Maria treatment too.
In reality, I think maybe I'm a little more insufferable than I'd like to admit, but I like to think I'd get the Maria treatment.
Oh, see, I would think that I am obviously coming off authentically, but like in post, the people around me, I find out they don't like me, but the public likes me.
Like Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
Yeah, but then you like see what like your peers think of you,
and
that to me is more important. I
do wonder because everybody's like, oh, Maria must be riding a high, like, you know, like millions of people she's gonna get. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if she got like actual genuinely famous over this,
or next Bachelorette.
I can see her transcending Bachelor Nation. I can see her becoming like
a host.
I can see her like dating somebody like way more famous.
She's gonna be hanging out with Hailey Bieber.
Yeah, exactly. I can see her actually transcending Bachelor, but I also do wonder how it feels like that the actual girls that she was with didn't like her. Like,
see how you were saying that like you care about like what the public would think.
Yeah.
I care about like what the people around me would think more than the public.
Well, I think my insecurity is that like I do actually feel like I'm cool and awesome and funny and nice, but I feel like I can get perceived on a surface level not that way. So I think that's why I worry about what people think.
Yeah.
Because I feel like around my friends I'm not worried because I do know genuinely when you know me well, I'm great.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like the perception of me can be skewed.
I think that I'm too animated sometimes that it could be seen as fake.
I was going to say, I think that's the biggest thing you get. If people that you know talk shit about you, obviously I haven't heard this because people wouldn't dare to talk shit about you in front of me, but I feel like if you do get something, it's that because you're really nice and kind and you like ask a lot of questions, that like somebody who's just like has evil vibes or just like maybe has been like hurt too many times, like could perceive you as fake.
Yeah, and that's such a bummer because I feel like I'm too honest to a fault. Whatever. Some of us are just perfect.
I like these jeans.
Thank you. I got them at Second Street.
It's hard to pull off a dark wash, but you pull it off.
It really is hard to pull off a dark wash.
I always feel like a farmer.
Yeah, or just like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like different eras of like, let's say millennials or Gen Z, like a different wash.
Yeah.
And if that wash isn't in, you're kind of like not trendy.
I know. All of my jeans essentially are medium wash. I just feel like it's safe.
When light washed ripped jeans were a thing?
Extreme light washed ripped jeans had me in a fucking chokehold in high school.
What was what did you dress like in high school?
I was so insecure in high school. Like, I really don't feel like I like came into myself and learned who I was until like straight up like 2-3 years ago. And so I feel like I was like so many different people in high school. I was just like really trying, and maybe this is a universal experience, but I feel like I was always trying to find myself. Like I had phases where
that's not bad.
I had phases where I was like pretty classic. Like I feel like, you know, for example, I graduated 2011. So if you graduated 2011, this will make sense. My like senior pictures, right? I'm in like a Charlotte Russe skirt, you know, high rise, stretchy waistband.
I'm painting the picture in my head.
I'm in like a white tank top that's like very long and like tucked into the skirt, you know, because all those tank tops, they went down like past your ass.
Yeah.
Tucked into the skirt, statement belt, like Charlotte Russe statement belt, you know, like brown with like a white weave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yes.
And like the ugliest sandal heels you've ever seen in your life. That was like for my senior pictures.
Oh, got it.
But that was like my vibe.
But I'm sure you looked gorgeous for the time.
Yeah, maybe. I think it was a little basic. But then it's like I also went through, you know, I've gone through like very masculine phases, like where I was like full streetwear, extremely baggy jeans all the time. Like I was always wearing like, you know, Nikes and stuff like that, which I like that vibe. Yeah. And then I feel like I've gone through like hyper feminine phases where I was like only wearing like white skirts and like, you know, rosaries and stuff, which is a little bit more, I say, akin to like who I am naturally. But like I've just like gone to a lot of extremes to like end up somewhere in the middle. But in high school, I was whoever you wanted me to be.
Oh.
I was whoever I thought was cool wanted me to be. Whatever guy I thought was cute wanted me to be. I was whoever you fucking wanted me to be in high school.
I was a pretentious little fuck.
I love that. Pretentious to me in high school means you just know who you are early on.
I did, but subsequently nobody fucked with it.
Yeah. As they don't in high school. Yeah. They thought you're like too good.
Yeah.
Which you probably were.
I had zebra print flats, gray tights. I would wear a dress with a belt. I graduated in 2012.
I gotta tell you, pretentious with zebra print flats is that's a move.
Yes. I'd have a cardigan on. I would have like an infinity scarf on. And I'd be on my way to music production class. I was a pick-me. But I didn't even know I was a pick-me. I just thought it was like cool.
We didn't know what that was at the time.
And that was me. Oh, I did have one shirt from Hollister. You know, Hollister was a fucking big thing. You'd have like the really skin tight shirts.
Yeah.
And I had one shirt from Hollister. And I remember begging my mom to get me this shirt. It was a hot pink tight shirt. And you'd wear the little shirts underneath.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And I would wear that once a week. And I would plan out like when I would wear it so that I could like... I did, as much as I was a pretentious little fuck, I wanted to like fit in badly.
Yeah.
So I'd wear like off-brand Miss Me jeans, my little flats, and my Hollister hot pink shirt.
You know what? Respect. People always ask me like, you know, this is like a very like common question, like, oh, like what were you in high school? Like, were you like a jock? Were you cool? Were you like a nerd? And I was the worst of them all, which is that I was in the cool group, but I like really tried hard to be there. Like I wasn't like naturally in the cool group.
Adjacent?
I like sat with them and I was like, I'm here now. Like, and they were all just like, who the fuck is this bitch?
Like, all right.
Yes, literally. So it's like, that's like the worst you can be. It's like technically that was like who I sat with at lunch, right? And who I like walked from class to class with.
At least you sat with somebody at lunch.
But you could tell they were always like, what are you doing? Like if I literally got kidnapped and fell off the face of the earth, they would just move on with their life.
But I would have seen that and been like, oh, she's just part of the cool group. Like it was so stressful for me in high school to be like, I have nobody to eat lunch with and I'm just going to go to the library and pretend that I'm doing that on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that.
I'm sorry, it makes me sad. Because you were genuinely one of the most like, you know, it's like popularity has a different like, you know, meaning when you're 30, but you were like one of the most popular people I know. Like everybody loves you, everybody wants to be your friend. Yeah. I have friends that I will be like, oh my God, I'm making a new friend. And they'll be like, so when are we gonna hang out with Gabby? Like I want to meet Gabby. It's like you're popular.
That's new to me.
You're a popular person. Like if I had to think about who's like a popular person in my life, you're a popular person. So it's crazy to me that you didn't have anyone to sit with at lunch in high school.
Yeah. But you know what? That builds character.
It does. It absolutely does. Me, like, knowing that everybody that I was sitting with actually thought that I was annoying definitely like built my character.
Do you think that they thought like do you think that they actually thought you were annoying or
yes.
was that
No, I don't think they thought I was annoing. I definitely wasn't annoying. But I think
can't
they
see
just
the world
like
where you're annoying.
I wasn't annoying, but I was definitely like I did not matter to them.
Yeah, you were like easily interchangeable. Like
exactly.
If you were sick, yeah.
It was fine that I was there. It wasn't like, God, I wish this girl would sit somewhere else, but it was just like I wasn't like close with them. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't one of those things. It was like I forced my way.
Honestly, I love that.
And if I did have any semblance of actual popularity, it was more because I like thought that like if I like let a guy like kiss my neck in the backseat of his car, that like that meant that like that was like some sort of validation.
Yeah.
Too. So like I also got like validation from guys, but I think it was more because I was letting them, you know.
See, I wanted that so bad, but I wasn't putting out anything.
I wasn't like fully putting out, but I was putting out enough in high school to get attention for sure.
I've always been the type to I'm like, why can't you just love my heart? Like I would like make out with them.
16-year-old boy.
Yeah, I would make out with them and like just be like, can we just like talk?
He's like, get the fuck out of my truck.
And that's why I lost my virginity at 22.
To your husband.
To my husband.
To her husband.
That's so true to who I am.
That's real. That is so real.
Fucking hell.
It makes me so anxious when after an episode I check my phone and I have like 20,000 texts. I like don't.
I agree.
Okay. I love this little shooting the shit episode. We should do this more often.
I know. I was thinking that like sometimes it's fun to have topics and stuff, but the most fun podcasts that I listen to are always just like authentically in that moment.
Yeah.
And this just feels like a hangout we would have had regardless.
I also feel like we're our best like this.
Yeah.
Like not under pressure. Like when we're just kind of like letting the conversation flow.
Yeah.
We're like our funniest and best.
I feel like I'm such an anxious person, but whenever, this is going to sound, you're going to judge me, but when I'm like locked in with you, I'm like so real. Stop.
Oh yeah, bitch.
Like I feel like more comfortable. Whatever.
I love that. You know what? You might be the most popular bitch, but it says something when the most popular bitch only likes you.
No, don't say anything positive about me, because then the opposite happens. Same shit with Vanessa Hudgens, popular. Don't perceive me.
It's the Megan Fox curse.
Yeah, don't.
It's the Megan Fox curse. Don't say anything too nice about me.
I don't want to know anything about myself.
No, please don't.
All right, let us know if you want more of these kinds of episodes, what you want to see in the future. We're on the saddle. The podcast is a horse.
We're going hard this year.
And we're on the saddle.
If you're a brand, sponsor us. If you're
a listener,
podcast management company, reach out to us.
If you're a consumer, rate us.
Rate us, like it, share it with your friends. I don't care how bad this sounds. I want to be able to live off of this podcast.
I agree. Please. And it's fun.
I just want to have fun with my bestie and get paid for it.
That's so real.
Is that so much to ask? Is that so much for a girl to ask for?
No, I think that looking back on this episode, we're going to be like, yeah, we did everything we could and we're crushing.
I agree.
I'm manifesting that. Are you manifesting it for us?
Bye, bitches.
Bye.